Today, I want to do an EFT session for cultivating the courage to strike. It's obvious that many of the labor protections that we have today, certain things like the weekend or the 8-hour work week, had to be fought for. And we are coming to a point, perhaps we've been in that point for too long already, that more and more people are seeing a need to be more active in the struggle for labor rights. Obviously, there's a lot of reason to be concerned. So today I want to address some of the reasons why we may be feeling nervous. So let's start with a few deep breaths. Just taking a deep, slow breath. Hold it. Now just slowly release it. We'll do that again. Filling the diaphragm first. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. We'll do it again, and when we do, make sure you pay attention to that sense of ease, the melting of tension, the welcome of the sense of gravity in your body. Breathe in. Hold it. Exhale. Let's begin. I'm nervous about the well-being of my family economically. Sometimes I feel powerless regarding the policies and the unilateral decisions that are made within the companies that I work for. I understand that I have a responsibility to provide for my family, to take care of myself. I understand that my best way to do that is to have a paycheck. I'm aware of the common abuses that are associated with my employment. But sometimes it feels like enduring the abuse to keep my employment is the best strategy for keeping food in the fridge and a roof over my head. I want my family to be okay. And I honor where I am in positioning myself to do what I can to help them be okay. But I also understand that improvements need to happen. And I'm nervous about that. I'm nervous that if I go on strike, I will be sacrificing my best means of providing for myself and my family. I feel terrified of the thought that we could have nothing. If I didn't have a job and a paycheck, I fear what could happen to me and my family. And I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about the sacrifice that could be made for going on strike. Just take in another deep breath. Hold it. Release. Part of me is afraid that I won't be caught if I fall. Part of me has believed that only I can really trust myself to make sure that myself and my family survive. I may have told myself time and time again that it's a dog-eat-dog world. And sometimes I truly see other human beings as my competition. But I acknowledge this is not healthy. I acknowledge this defeats the desire for community and mutual aid. It just seems like a jungle out here. And I don't know if I can trust other people. However, it is important to acknowledge how much evidence there is of solidarity. When we see photos of the amount of people who came to the 50-50 protests or the hands-off protests, this is a visual representation of how many people understand and are in solidarity with the need for a stronger government in terms of its protections of human rights. And even if it's not a stronger government that we are looking for, we understand that mutual aid has been incredibly inspirational. If we look to the Zod, this is also proof that people can come together. That in one day, that in one day, 40,000 people can come to the defense of the farmers who are going to be kicked off their land. Seeing the Zod makes me realize that people will help each other. I acknowledge that witnessing the No Dapple protests was also emblematic of solidarity. Thousands of people showed to protect a treaty they had nothing to do with. Thousands of people put their bodies on the line to resist a pipeline that could cause environmental catastrophe. This was something beautiful, because so many people proved that they were willing to help people that they've never met before. When we look back at when the levees broke in Hurricane Katrina, it wasn't just the families helping each other to the bridge, helping each other to evacuate or off their rooftops when the streets were submerged. Other citizens drove from hundreds of miles away to help the people displaced by the hurricane with food and transportation. I acknowledge this is proof of a solidarity, of empathy, of the fact that other human beings can be a helping hand in times of crisis. I acknowledge that I want to be the kind of person who is a helping hand in times of crisis. I respect the courage of those who help. I respect the courage of those who strike. Let's breathe. Where are you now? Do you feel your weight? Is there sunlight or a breeze on your skin? The temperature to the air? Can you feel your heartbeat? Let's continue. I have been yearning for a better world. I look around and I see how obvious it is that this planet could be a better place. That our cities could be more nurturing and protective. That our subcultures could be more loving and less divisive. That the infrastructure of our cities could be more filled with community centers as opposed to places for profit. It's just so obvious that the world could be more fair. And I acknowledge that part of helping to make the world more fair is having the courage to take direct action, to make sacrifices and trust that if I find myself in crisis, others will help me. That communities of people I've never met will catch me when I fall. that mutual respect and the blood, sweat, and tears that are put into making the world a more safe place, with better labor protections and more fair resource allocation. That the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to revolutionize and make the world better is a sense of currency. That the respect itself will be seen by hundreds, if not thousands. That even if I lose my employment, there are people who will gladly sacrifice food so that I and my family can eat. There are gladly people who will offer whatever they can to make the transition more easy. I acknowledge that this courage is worth it. That the world I want to help create, one that's more fair, is worth the sacrifice and worth the risk. Sometimes I wish I were born into a more fair world. But I acknowledge that in these times, this is my chance to make sure that the people born after me are born into a more fair world. And I honor and I respect my wishes and my willingness to contribute to a better place. A place my heart has felt has existed or could have existed if only we walked a different path. Thank you for joining me. As you can see, today, like every day, is a beautiful day to resist abuse and oppression. Thank you.